Hello and welcome back. This is CCHW, Christ Church of the Holy Word, and our study, chapter by chapter, verse by verse, of the New Testament. We're in the book of James. James has been drawing the line between someone who claims to believe in Jesus Christ and has no good works to show, and someone who has true faith, because it is impossible to have true faith in Jesus Christ and have no works to show in your life. Now, people get uptight when this is taught because a lot of people don't feel that they really do good works. Now, I spoke a little bit about this in the previous chapter, but the thing about it is, don't think that what James is teaching is untrue. It is true. James is teaching that when a person truly has faith, it's impossible for them not to do good works. The problem is that God leads us, and sometimes we don't even realize it when we are doing good works in our daily life. It's just what we do. It's what we expect, or what we feel like is expected of us. It's good works, friends. A good work can be a lot of things. I touched on this a little bit before, but it can be helping the poor. It can be helping anyone that needs support, physically or spiritually. So, friends, be kind and treat others as you would have them treat you, and I guarantee you, you're going to be doing good works. The closer you come to the Father, and the stronger that your faith really becomes, the more you will begin to please God with your good works. They'll just come naturally. That's why we should be praying every day to our Father to strengthen our faith. Okay, let's pick it up right where we left off. We're starting the third chapter of this book of James. Chapter 3, verse 1, and verse 1 reads, "My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation." Friends, we're only to have one master, and that is God the Father. And if you worship men, or allow them to be your master, you will face condemnation by the true master, God Almighty. 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not the word, the same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body. Control what you say. That's the beginning of true, godly self-control. 3. Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths, that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body. With this little bit that we put in their mouth, we control their whole body. Verse 4, "Behold also the ships, which, though they be so great, and are driven by fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth." Wherever the steerer of that boat wants, he just turns that little thing. We can control the entire body of a horse by a little bit in its mouth, and we can control a huge ship by a little rudder. That's what James is pointing out to us. Let's continue, verse 5. Even so, the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Your mouth can get you in a lot of trouble, friends. Pretty much what James is telling us here, verse 6. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, among all the parts of our body, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell. Control your tongue, beloved. That's what James is telling us here. He spoke about it a little bit before in a previous chapter. Through lies, or even the truth, if it's hurtful or mean to another person, you defile the entire being. Your being, through the sin of your tongue. Verse 7. For every kind of beasts, and of birds, and of serpents, and things in the sea, is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind. Friends, humans have tamed the entire, well, maybe not the entire, but pretty much the physical world. Remember, in Genesis, God gave man domain over the creatures of this earth. Verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame. You can tame all these animals, but you can't tame your own tongue. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. It can be, friend, if you let it. And talk about getting you into trouble. Your tongue can do more damage to relationships and positions in life and everything else than probably anything else. Verse 9. Therewith, with your tongue, bless we God, even the Father. And therewith, with that same tongue, curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God. We're made in the image of God, friends, man. And with our tongues, we can speak to God, holy, and then turn around and sometimes use that same tongue, probably in a very close time frame, to do evil. 10. Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessings and cursings. My brethren, these things ought not so to be. You shouldn't let it happen, friends. 11. Doth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Question. The answer, no, it doesn't. But out of your mouth, we can say blessings, and the next second, say cursings. If you're not in tune to God and you work on it. Verse 12. Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? I don't think so. Either a vine figs? No. So can no fountain, or likewise no fountain, both yield salt water and fresh. 13. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Question. Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. I've talked about this before, friends. I mean, as you begin to understand how blessed we are once we take Jesus Christ into our lives, and the promises, the covenants that God has made begin to apply to us and we can claim them, it becomes harder, perhaps, and harder until you start grasping some of this truth of James, to be humble. It's such a blessing, beloved. So, speak wisely. Godly speech is what we should strive for. It's what we should continually be trying to do in our own life. It seems that speech these days has become much more worldly than has been accepted ever before in the past, at least to my knowledge. There may be times, but in my life I know it's much, much looser now. It's something that we all, I think, certainly myself, struggles with from time to time. It's another thing that we need to pray about, beloved. I have done a lot of things in my life. One of them was I was in the bar business for many years. And if you've never heard me talk about this before, if you want to talk about sins of the tongue, a bar is a great place to find those kinds of sins. And it wasn't until I realized God allowed me to see that I didn't want to be part of the problem anymore. I wanted to be part of the solution, that I made up my mind I had to get out of that particular business. But we have all, I think, sinned. I know I look at this new, younger generation that we have with us right now, and their language is much rougher, I will say, than what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Now, in another time of my life, before I got into the bar business, I was a college professor, communications, and I taught that words, they meant nothing. You could say whatever you want. I truly believed that at the time. Not true if you want to be godly. Let's continue. Verse 14. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. It does no good, friends, not to be truthful with God. I'll tell you what, He already knows everything. You can't lie to God, friends. 15. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. It's part of the flesh. You don't need to look to heaven to know the truth sometimes. Common sense will tell you when things are true, and through common sense, you know that earthly wisdom, knowledge of fleshly things doesn't come from God. 16. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. And friends, if you look around the world today, you will see confusion everywhere. I often talk about confusion envelops the world today in so many places, in so many ways. It is the confusion of the end times, friend. And like it or not, it is upon us right now. 17. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. God's wisdom, not worldly wisdom, godly wisdom comes from above. It's spiritual wisdom, beloved. And it brings God's peace. And with his peace, friends, all is good. 18. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace. Spiritual peace, beloved. Remember, we can have spiritual peace through Jesus Christ. It's one of his promises. But in this last generation, there will be no true physical peace. We're told in the book of Jeremiah that, and this is a end times prophecy, we're told that the people will be crying out, peace, peace, peace. I mean, I know it's talking about a specific time that happened then, but it's also, as God always does, he uses experiences there in the Old Testament to show us what's going to happen. And the people are crying, peace, peace, peace is here. Oh, thank God. But there is no peace, beloved. There is no peace until Jesus Christ returns. No real physical peace in this world. And in the book of Luke, Jesus Christ himself tells us that he didn't bring peace into this world when he came as Messiah. In the book of Luke chapter 2 verse 12, the book of Luke chapter 12 verse 51, Jesus himself tells us that when he came into this world of flesh to bring forgiveness of sin and salvation, he didn't bring peace along with him. Listen to the verse. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can you don't have to go fumbling around. Chapter 12 of the book of Luke, verse 51, and it reads, this is Jesus Christ himself speaking. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on the earth? Question. I tell you, nay, but rather division. And I'll say again, beloved, not until Christ returns to us the second time at that seventh trump will true physical world peace be found. Don't miss the next lecture. We will continue. We're going to pick it up right up where we left off, fourth chapter of this book of James. Until then, stay in his word, beloved. Pray to God Almighty for him to strengthen your faith. And if you're trying to figure out how to increase your good works, There's no better good work in God's eyes than spreading His Word. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to share our teachings with those in your life that are looking for the truth, that are searching for, they may not even tell you, but God will show you who they are. They're searching for it in their life. God bless you. God bless your friends. And I guarantee you this, that if you do that, if you spread His Word, God will bless you for doing that in this fleshly world, but it's also going to go in the record under your name and count in your column as a big plus in the book of life, listed under good works.